Alright, so I kind of wanted to sit here and talk for a minute because I can't sleep. I haven't been able to sleep in like 3 days. Uh, Probably more, but the reasons are, and I've been thinking about this some for the past few days, is frustration and how to kind of deal with it. Good Lord, what happened? Why is this doing this right now? Okay, so what I was saying, um, so I've been going through an extremely frustrating portion of my life right now. And I've begun to come to certain conclusions. And this is the thing, right? I don't think that I don't think that anything is actually solved by like sitting in frustration constantly. So I've tried to find my way to rid myself of it. How did I do that? I've decided to just ignore things, stop paying attention to them. What's the point? There's some things that I can and cannot control. There's people that I can and cannot control. So what is the point of me being frustrated with this? Frustrated with the things that I don't need, right? And then, I'll go through the loop of thinking, why am I thinking about the things that I need? There are things that I want and things that fulfill me. But why am I so worried about just needs and wants? And so then I've tried for the past 2 weeks, I've decided to do this. And it somewhat works, but it doesn't really solve the problem, right? It doesn't solve the problem about, it doesn't actually solve the frustration. It doesn't actually temper it at all. See, this is the point. Like a reason that I was so aggressive before, like for about 2 or 3 years as I've been on the internet, the reason that I was so aggressive before is because of frustration. I'm frustrated with life. I'm frustrated with the situations that I'm in. I'm frustrated with everything almost. And for a time I figured out a way to get around it, but it just doesn't work the way it has in the past few months. Now, what is the problem? Is the problem with me and the way that I think about it? Is the problem with that circumstances change and things get become different, and I'm not good at adapting to things. So when those things change, the frustration returns. I think that's more of the case, right? I don't like change. I don't like things to be consistently one way for a while and then immediately alter in a way that seems like a step backwards. And there's times of where you have to be extremely patient, right? But patience doesn't really get you anywhere sometimes. Patience, after a long time of being patient, there comes a time where you must act. Sometimes you have to make a decision. And, you know, I'm at that point where that patience that I've been waiting, like the patience that I've been committed to, is not doing anything. So it's pointless. It's pointless to be patient at this point. I know and understand what must be done, so I need to do it. So fine, that's the case. And I've been having people come in and out of my life for the past few years, like 4 or 5 years. I've had people come in and out of my life, and I've begun to be too passive in allowing them to um, sort of, how do I explain this? Sort of just be tests of my patience. There's some things I think you're good to be patient about, but a lot of the stuff that I've been patient with has been stupid, and I'm kind of just done with it. Right? So it's time to move forward. It's time to commit to the things that I know I need to do, not for me, but for the others that are in my life. That's what everyone should be doing. Why are you wasting so much time? Why am I wasting so much time? That's the real problem. Is that we waste so much time on wishes and wants, dreams and desires. Like all these things are fucking meaningless by the end of it. Why would I commit to these things? Why would I continue to be part of people's lives that just don't give a shit or have other priorities that don't include you? And and I don't mean that in like a sense of like you should be included in everything and part of their life. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there's like different tiers of things, right? There's different tiers of priority that people are in. If you're in like the seventh or eighth category, like that's pretty much not, that pretty much means that you're not included in anything at all. You're basically uh, interacting with a stranger. And why would I want to be interacting with a stranger constantly? So it's kind of like, what am I doing? What am I committing to? Why am I trying to help this person? Why am I trying to um, be so patient with people? There are a lot of people, this is mostly in my real life. There's some people that I've been patient with online that I shouldn't be. People that I've given more credit than they deserved. People that, how do I explain it? An early stream? No, this is a late stream. This is me not being able to sleep because I have uh, something that I need to talk out loud. So, what is the point? What is the point in engaging with these types? What is the point of trying to be included in somebody's life that blatantly just doesn't want you there? And it's not even anything to do with it doesn't have anything to do with like thinking that you deserve something, because that's the way that I have kind of coped with it before, is that I don't deserve an outcome from something that I do, which is true. You don't deserve any outcome from actions that you commit to, except there are things that you could kind of rely on and expect, but nothing that should be 100% trusted that you get out of doing something. Like, you can go to work, you can have a job, and you can expect a paycheck. But do you ultimately deserve it? Well, I don't know. I think that's up to your employer to decide whether you deserve it or not. So, but within that, I've begun to feel like, if there's no expectations of what the end result will be, if you are lost in a fog, right? You're trying to be a friend with somebody, you're trying to help them through things. You're trying to, like, a person that I'm talking about is, just cousins, family members that I've had in my life. You know, what is the point of continuously trying to be present when they don't give a fuck to a large extent? Like, they just expect things from you, but don't really don't really care, or they get lost in their own world. Like, I'm somebody that's pretty consistent, pretty committed. If I'm wanting to be present with somebody, if I'm wanting to do things with somebody, if I'm wanting to be a part of somebody's life, that's something that I'll always do. And I can excuse, like, a even like a really rough part of someone's life, right? Say they are going through something that's rough that lasts, all up to a year. I can be patient with that and forgiving with it. But it's also like, at a certain point, after 2 or 3 months of just silence, um, I'm gonna forget. I'm just gonna stop paying attention. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I've tried to commit to being better, right? What's the point of being better? It's not for the sake of even yourself or the other person. It's to change you into being someone more capable. And I think one of the lessons that I've learned so far from this is that I gotta stop giving so much of a shit. I really do. That's the point. Let's be honest. Like, there's a lot of people on the internet that I give too much goodwill to that I shouldn't. There's a lot of people in real life I give too much goodwill to that I shouldn't. And I try to live life in this humble state, like humility. I try to look at myself and the problems that I've done and not really look at what the other person has done. I try, and humility is more so like your place, like, know your place. And that's a true thing that everyone should learn. You should know your place. But the idea of always assuming that the other person would have good intentions, or assuming that these things can all be justified by circumstances, like, that's true to an extent, but also, like, if I am going through something, right, and I actually want to make sure that this other, like, this friend, this cousin, this whatever, this family member is, or whatever it is, if I can be committed to doing these things and there's nothing reciprocal about it, I have no reason to be, I have no reason to be sacrificial towards them. I have no reason to be a friend with them. I have no reason for doing anything for them. And I think that's ultimately the conclusion that I've come to at this point. I have no reason to do anything for anybody. If I'm catechized within the church, I have a commitment to my brothers and sisters in the church, and that's it. Everything else is optional. Everything else is um almost being retarded, right? Like you're almost stupid for continuously doing something over and over and over again, and expecting a different outcome. So fun. I am being I'm having humility. I'm understanding my place, the place that the person has put me in their life. A eighth to 10th category person that's thought of uh, occasionally, but not really somebody that truly means anything beyond the value that you provide and provide beyond the um like occasional like pseudo psychiatrist, right? So about people psychiatrists, I don't care. Now, there are people online that I've met. Like there's someone recently that I'm pretty sure got just rage quit, uh, and got super pissy with me over me joking around with them. And if that's true, then okay, good riddance. If you don't want to be around me because you think I've insulted you, okay, fine, fuck off then. Like, I don't care. So, that's one example. Some other examples that are happening in my real life, I'm not gonna like give out because it's nobody's business. This is something that was public. So, like, I just don't see the necessity of it. I'm pretty sure there's some things that I do want to try on YouTube for a while that I think will be interesting, will be fun. But I'm not committed to being around YouTube for very much longer. I think that's the decision that I've ultimately made. Like, there's too much drama and shit that happens in my real life to be included with these random ass, stupid gay shit that keeps happening in the vicinity of these channels, and the fact that they have no lives outside of the internet and want to include people in it, and they just want to make shit up. Like they don't actually care. They don't fucking give a shit. Like nobody in on the internet truly gives a fuck about you. That's like true. There's people that are polite, nice, friendly, but I don't think that anybody really on the internet gives a fuck about anybody to a pretty large extent. I think most people on the internet that they interact with each other, you're by default a 10th category person in their life. And I think I've made a mistake by making some people on the internet uh, a third or fourth category person. There's, like one or two people that I've met that I would say are second category people that I would probably keep around in my life if I ever stopped being around on the internet. But that's about it. Like everything else, everything here is meaningless. It's all bullshit. All of it's bullshit. All of it is just garbage. Well, even like this is the thing. I think that the categories that I'm working with. Like a 10th category person is somebody that's absolutely there's no like effect they have on your life at all. They're not really. They're just like not even an acquaintance. They're somebody that you recognize. An eighth category person would be somebody that you kind of know, but like don't really like you could know that it doesn't really depend on how much you know them. It's just how much you decide to interact with them. Oh, like a fifth category person would be like an average friend. Like there's people that, have fun talking with from the internet, but the mass majority of people, like I won't even be lying about this. Like most of the people who are my mods on this channel are fifth category people. They're friends that I enjoy being around, but they're not people that I have to have like included in my life every day. You know? And I don't mean that like as a mean thing. That's just like true. And I think they would say probably the same thing about me. And then there's a second category people. Second category people are like actual people that I want and I include as like almost a pseudo like family. Like if you're not somebody that I'm romantically interested in, you're a second category person. That just means I think of you as family. Otherwise, secondary category people is usually reserved for uh like people that I want to, romantic interest. I guess I don't know, but for the most part, I don't think that's possible on the internet. I don't think that's a thing that happens on the internet. Um, Nor would I really seek that through the internet. So, but like if people in real life that are like second category people, that's what I'm mostly talking about. But well, the original vintage, you're not even like you're like maybe a ninth category person. I'm aware of you. I don't know anything about you though. So you trying to climb up those ranks, but no thanks. But well, there's like I don't think that I think I've just got to that point where it's just I'm really just annoyed with the internet. I'm just annoyed with it. All of it's just dumb and meaningless. So that's why, like, what do I do when I'm on YouTube? I'm usually either a chat troll or I'm arguing about something that's retarded. I'm playing a game and I'm joking around. Well, that's it. That's all that I do on the internet. So it's like and then I spend a lot of time on that, just being like just kind of wasting time. And I do think I do that too much. Like some of it, and when I began to realize that, right, I decided, okay, I'm just going to put work into my channel and treat it like a job. I'm just going to come home from work and I'm going to stream for 3 or 4 hours so that I could justify that and try to be able to make money from it at least so I could justify my time being here. Because there are people that I like to be around, but it's like I'd only do it to like I'd only do it if it has some sort of benefit to me. And I'm gonna be honest, like there's no real intellectual benefit to being on the internet for me anymore. Most of the people that try to do like debates or discussions on panels, and I'm not meaning this directly with anybody around here. I'm mostly talking about the spheres that I've been around for the past few months. Um, like most of them are so low tier that I can't like actually have a genuine conversation or sort of soft debate with them because it just turns into somebody not understanding what I'm saying and then just getting really upset and not understanding their response isn't even like a refutation of what I'm saying. Or they commit to this ideology where debate has no meaning in itself, which that's stupid. Debate does have a meaning. It's a structured conversation. It's to discover truth. Philosophy has value. So it's the seeking of truth within conversation. There are rules to be able to find something that's true. So when it comes to doing things like that, um, Like you have to be able to do that. Like you have to have some sort of comprehension in the things that you're talking about. And I only talk really about philosophy and theology. I don't really care about politics. Politics is gay. Politics is stupid. Politics is downstream from philosophy and theology. If you can't be somebody that's fully coherent, if you can't think coherently, you can't construct thoughts, that you really shouldn't be having, you shouldn't really have anything to do with politics. And that's the problem with the system that we have right now, is it includes so many people that are incapable of thinking rationally, incapable of thinking in any sort of structured way, that they end up doing things that are detrimental to the nation itself continuously because they're selfish and self-righteous, because they have no grounding, they have no argumentation, they have no structure at all. So they destroy themselves. And by that effect, they destroy the nation around them. Especially when you give power to everybody, even to the smallest extent. So, like, this is something that I've been thinking about, like citizenship versus subject. I don't know if, like, everybody being a citizen of the nation, or the mass majority of people, if everybody's in the country is a citizen, they have legal rights that give them political sway within the system itself. Um, it's not a good thing. This means your nation is running off mob rule, which means whatever can convince the lowest tier of people that this is correct generally wins and generally gets what they want. It's kind of like a, what is that movie called? Idiocracy. Like, idiocracy is the eventual end of all democracies. It's just what happens. Citizenship is not something that should just be freely given. It should be something that's earned. Otherwise, you're just a subject. Otherwise, you are a member of the state, but you are not a full citizen. You are protected by the state. You are paid by the companies within the state, but ultimately, you must earn your way to becoming a citizen and even having the ability to have a say within that system. Anyways, I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but I will say this: like, what the effect of the system that we have right now, what it does is it makes people ignorant, stupid, and it makes a incentive to make everyone as dumb as they possibly can without completely annihilating the nation. Just dumb enough, like smart enough to be able to do complex things, but dumb enough to not be capable of thinking. Which is why philosophy isn't taught. It's why nobody has any structure within or capability of constructing coherent thoughts in a nation. Because that's what they want. They don't want you to be able to construct coherent thoughts. They want you to work. They want you to provide for the state. They want you to pay taxes. And they want to maximize the amount of taxes they can get out of you. So what do? They create a system in which focuses on materialism, things. You have to have the new thing. Otherwise, you're not actually fulfilled. Have this new thing so you don't have to think about the other things that you are missing out on because you commit yourself to making more money to buy more things. What is the point of that? I don't actually see the point in it. There's not really a big reason for it. I've always been somebody that I'm a minimalist. I like to have things. Like, I have a computer. I have some stuff that, is fancy in comparison to the rest of the world, but it's not something that, like, the next thing isn't something that I'm looking forward to. I've had the same fucking phone for ever. I have an iPhone 5. iPhone 5. That's what I have. That is the last time I bought a phone. And I've replaced the battery in it a bunch of times. That's what I've done. I don't need the new thing. I don't need I don't need this stuff. I have stuff that I enjoy to do, stuff that I will spend money on, like I'll buy games to play on the channel, but if I wasn't doing it on the channel, I just wouldn't pay for those. So it's kind of like this is my frustrations with everything that is occurring within the world, right? This is what it is. This is what everything is. It's all meaningless, empty relationships with people, all empty, meaningless friendships, empty, meaningless everything, empty, meaningless work life, empty, meaningless material life. It's all empty. It's all dead. And who killed it? We did. You did. I did. We all did it. That's what sucks about being in a democracy. We're all responsible for it. All of us. And the way that it's fixed is by finding the truth again. And the truth is that we are, and this is what the actual truth of it is that we are all one big family. We do have duties towards each other. And being incapable of fulfilling those duties will leave you destitute. You have a family, take care of them. If you don't have a family, then you have other duties that you need to commit to. There's other things that you need to do. There's the church. If you don't have any family, then commit to the church. Make that your family. Because it is. This is the way that I view things. Is that I view people in this way, that they are a missing member of my family. So I always try to have been as good faith as I can be with as many people as I can, but I never trust anybody. But even then, there's like a handful of people that I would say that I, 80% trust. And then there's somebody, like one person that I like 90%, well, maybe two people that I 90% trust. And then only one person that I 100% trust. And that's a frustrating thing. I mean, before in my life, before I became a Christian, there was absolutely nobody. Everybody was automatically on 0 to 20% of trust. I either didn't trust you at all, or I kind of trusted you with some things. Very limited things. So that's what I've kind of turned into now, is I've become, I think, overly trusting towards a lot of people. I don't think that I need to lose the idea that most people are a part of a great, grander family that we even can comprehend in this earthly place that we are right now. But I do think that that's the future. That's something that happens later. Right now, it's a war zone. Right now, it's a struggle. There's no such thing as being able to stop and take a breath. There's no such thing as rest. There's just constantly moving forward. Even if you get slow and tired, it doesn't matter. You don't stop and rest. If you stop and rest, the people that are behind you are going to run over you. And they're going to crush you. So you always have that inspiration that you need to understand that you're going to get crushed if you don't keep going. Even if it's like even a little bit. Just walk a little bit. Just move forward a small amount. That's all you could do. Everything else is meaningless. And walking forward is the race of life. The race that the saints cheer you on. It's the journey to God. That's what we're all doing. We're all running towards God. And some of us don't. Some of us just sit, make a picnic table, and just sit there, and we're comfortable in the place that we're at. But it's ultimately like, why? There's a crowd of people behind you about to run over everything, and you're just sitting there. And even I get to that point where sometimes I want to just sit down and just stay where I'm at for a moment. But there's no value in it. There's actually nothing in it. There's no value in rest. It's just constant pushing forward. That's the only thing that you can do. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is like meaningless. I'm not going to put my time into things that slow me down ultimately. Like it's one of those things you offer out a hand to somebody, they don't take it. Okay, see ya. So that's where I'm at now. I don't think that there's any real truth in what I'm doing here. It's just kind of passing time and entertaining myself. So, like, if it works out, I start making money. Cool. I'll stick around, do a few things here and there that I think will be interesting, that's worthy of being paid for. Everything else, I'm just gonna start clipping out. If you're anything below the fifth category, I don't give a shit. See ya. Then I start raising out my hand and trying to help people. They don't want to take it. Okay. If I start wanting to do things with people or wanting to have some sort of commitment to doing certain things and there's just no response, like I'll be understanding to a point, but I'm not going to really worry about it. It's like, what's the point? But like I've had an incident recently where somebody asked me to do something, right? They wanted me to, um, they wanted something. They wanted me to do something. So I said, okay, we can. You just have to tell me what day. Never tell me what day. So that I'm like, do you want me to just decide on what day? If there's just no response. And then 2 weeks later, they're like, man, we should really do something. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to keep doing this. Like, I have my limits, right? I have my limits with wanting to do stuff with me and then just never committing to it. So it's like, what? Why am I worrying about it? It's on them to make sure that if they want something done, if they want to do something, they want to hang out or something, that's on them. If I offer things to people like that too, and it's just like never responded to, I'm just gonna take that as you just don't want to do it. That's fine. You don't have to want to do anything. But I also have a limit to the point of where I will ask. At some point, if I ask, and because I'm going to start like this debate show soon. If I ask, I'm going to ask once. I'm going to send a date and a time the second time. Once it's worked out, that's it. And if you don't show up, then that's like on you. And also, like, I don't know, like it just seems, all of this seems so silly. What's the point of all this? What's the point of like wanting to have like some sort of friendship or some sort of whatever, and then just ignoring it? Like this is something too. Like I want to be honest with y'all. I don't get anything out of like talking on a public panel or anything. I don't get anything out of it. It actually takes a lot of like social energy out of me to interact on in public spaces. Sometimes I'll do it to distract myself and I can kind of like halfway pay attention, but I'm not something I don't really like get anything out of it. And I get less and less out of it the more I do it. So like I don't know how to explain it, but I enjoy like I don't know, like I enjoy like hanging out like at a bar or something. I enjoy things like that. I enjoy playing a game with somebody and just talking shit the entire time and it not being like a public display. I enjoy that. And the closer I am with people, the less and less I enjoy being around in public with them. And the more and more energy it takes for me to uh, do that. And that's what this is. Like everything on the internet is a public display. This is a public display. Panels are a public display. Um, and they take a lot out of me, and it's like pointless because I have other shit I have to do. I have commitments. I have a life. I have a family, or I have a kid at least, which is family. Like I have that. So like, what is the point? Me wasting energy and putting myself and straining myself with stuff that just makes me exhausted and incapable of doing other things. So it's just like I don't know. I'm just like done with it. I think for the most part, like if I start making money, if I start doing certain things, like if this show succeeds, cool. I'm not really gonna worry about anything else. Every time that I'm gonna hang out with people, it's gonna be privately. I'm not gonna hang out on people's streams anymore. I'm not gonna go and make a public display of my friendship with people because I just think it's weird. I think there's things that you could do with friends that are entertaining that you could make something around that would be worthy of like monetization or whatever. That's something that I think would be okay. But that would be something that's like work. That's a group work effort. That's not really being friends. So it's just the way that I've begun to think about things. The more and more it frustrates me. It's just a very frustrating kind of mindset to be in. It's not even really a mindset. It's more like a recognition of how the stuff works within me. So yeah, I think that the best thing for me to do is to just not worry about it anymore. For the most part, like I'm gonna keep being on my stream. If people and friends want to come hang out with me on my stream, that's cool. But otherwise, like I may pop in here and there on other streams to be on panels and stuff, but I'm just not gonna wear myself out by doing it. I'm not gonna commit to thinking that the only way that I get to spend any kind of time with a person is on a fucking panel. It's fucking gay. I don't like it. It's stupid. And yeah, I'm not gonna. I think it's just dumb. I don't think it's like a friend thing. It's like I'm helping them with their job, which is fine. I don't mind that. I really don't. I don't mind going on Emmett's channel and trying to do something entertaining with them. I don't mind that. I really don't. It's a fun thing to do. But I don't know. Like it's just something that doing stuff like that is just stuff I'm gonna start backing off from doing. That I'm just gonna like sit here in my little hut and play Final Fantasy games. I think that's what I want to do for the most part. If anybody wants to crawl this hut and watch me play a damn Final Fantasy game or a horror game here and there. So that's cool. That's what we're gonna do. But everything else I'm just gonna take a step away from because it's wearing on me. Because I feel like whenever I go, let's say that, when I go to somebody else's channel, I feel like I have to be entertaining. I have to put on a show. I have to pretend to be something. I have to be entertaining. I have to be like a fucking actor. I have to be like a clown or something. I have to do something that people want to see. I just don't like it. I just don't think it's something that I want to do and not really just use up all my energy doing that just so I can be distracted from other things. And like ultimately, I think a lot of what I want to do with my channel is do this to prove a point. Like a lot of people seem to think that they need to be ecumenistic with their strategy of making channels. And I don't think that's a true thing. I don't think you have to be friendly or neutral with everybody. I think there are clear lines that can be drawn at people who are on the outside and on the inside. And that's what it is. Like, there needs to be. I think that a lot of the way that people succeed on YouTube is they create like insular communities, people that are committed to that place as their place that they go to, their group of friends that they hang out with around there. It's kind of like a bar. It's kind of like it's like a friend's living room or something. People playing games and hanging out. I think that's where like loyalty and like actual viewer retention would come in. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That actually why I don't go on panels much. I recognize I'm not particularly entertaining. So unless I have a point to make, I stay in the chat. Well, like this is my thing. Is like I mean, I can be pretty entertaining. I mean, this is something that I figured out when I was younger, when I originally made my YouTube channel, and I had like 1,400,500 subscribers at some point. And like this channel diminished some. Like I lost the mass majority of that, right? But this was something that I did over the course of like 6, 7 months. So like it maybe about a year is what it took me to do that. And the reason that it didn't take me that much is because I just put on like a clown makeup. I just played games and I made it as entertaining as I could. This is stuff that's like easy to do. Like it's not hard to be entertaining. It really isn't. It's just now I'm older. Now I think differently. Now I am completely different than what I used to be. I don't want to be entertaining all the time. Um I want to be able to help people. I want to sit here in this cabin, smoking this pipe, and maybe say something that might resonate with somebody else. So they're like, I get that. And that's kind of egocentric, right? You get what we're talking about? My frustrations with the internet. Again, you seem like a deep thinker. Do you overthink things a lot? Yeah, I do. And then I actually have the ability to turn off my brain, which is not something that a whole lot of people can do. It is a skill that I developed over being in extremely stressful situations constantly over the course of most of my life, and voting on banning women from chat rooms. Nate, I just want you to know, like, like, I'm not in it. I'm not gonna let people joke around with people like that super aggressively. I know you're joking, but I don't like that. I'm just saying. What's your frustration? I'd need to just go back. I mean, me. This is me just kind of working through the thought, so I guess I could reduce it down here. So you don't have to go back. I find that myself trying to pretend to be a clown so I can help people with other. I meant, hey, cat, good. That's thank you for that. But I actually own this channel, so I can't be banned. That's right. And this is actually a sock puppet account for cat and Doomerang. Doomerang has actually just been a new addition to the shadow government that runs this channel. But so my frustrations with a lot of this stuff is like I go and I am usually very tired and I use panels and I don't like hanging out on panels. I don't like hanging out with people in an open like public space that's like it's not even a public space. But like a lot of what these YouTube channels and panel spaces are like stages. That's what they are. There's a lot of people who act. There's a lot of people who put on shows. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it takes a lot out of me to do that. And I don't like this being the place where, you know, the people that I'm kind of close to, like, let me put it, I'll create the like gathering of people that I'm talking about. And this is the what I mean by it too. I have to put on like this kind of cloak, right? This green cloak that I'm wearing right now, that I'm sitting in this, like, this is the thing that prevents me from being completely open. I cannot be completely open like this. So if I wanted to talk to King or Jeremy about something, I'd have to limit myself. I have to be vague about it because this is a stage. So people will treat this as something that they can use as entertainment. They would take a struggle that I'm going with as a form of entertainment. I don't think that's a good thing. Or people's struggles, other people's struggles. This is why I was so aggressive with Voltaire, because Voltaire was trying to make things. You could watch the last stream that he was on that I think he got mad at me about and just ditched out. Um, and got mad because I think he fell asleep on the stream and I think he didn't realize he fell asleep. So he got back and he got super pissy with me. I think. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I'm guessing so far because that's within the character. But like the reason that I'm so aggressive with Voltaire when he's going into like deep life stuff and he's like treating it like we're all hanging out at like a bar or something. I'm trying to make sure that he's not on stage using his life struggles as entertainment for other people. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want that kind of stuff to happen on my channel. If there's anything that's happening on my channel, like there could be people that are struggling with certain things, and there's no problem with that. But when that's all you want to do, that's it. That's the only thing. I think it's like a self-aggrandizing. I think it's like performing on a stage. So when you know, say somebody's going through a tough time, they want to have a little bit of talk, or they just want to express it. That's totally fine to a limited sense. And the reason that I don't want that to happen on my channel is because I don't want people um doing that on my channel and being used against them. And what I mean by that is like not necessarily like I don't know, like a something that's like a struggle in um the sense is I have experienced a great loss, or I'm really struggling or I wouldn't even say financial, but I'm just like struggling with work or something like that. Those are things that I think are okay to talk about on a stream because those are things that You know, they're like not something that's really something that's usable to attack other people. But let's like use Voltaire for an example. Voltaire in one of the streams just went on and on and on about different portions of his life that he's unsatisfied with. And like that's just whining. And I would tell that to him to his face. In fact, I did. I did tell that to him to his face. And he got really pissy with me. And then he wanted to start like a deep, like, dissection into my psyche, which pissed me off even more. I just don't think that that is a good thing to do. I don't think whining is a good thing. I think that's a performance, a terrible performance. But if it's not a performance and it's just like just a struggle with like work or with loss or with I don't know, anything that's not like an interpersonal thing, I guess. Like it's not something that's internal to you that you're like like just whining about. Because I think there's also like philosophical questions. There's philosophical questions like, say I ask, what would you do if you had $1 million? That's a philosophical, but it's a personal question that can be answered, and I think that's fine. But I guess it's hard for me to directly explain exactly what I mean because I'm trying to be precise and I'm trying not to be too broad. But I think for the most part, what I'm talking about is just the whining. The whining is the whining has no place here. The whining is what a large portion of the internet does, and it's low tier slop. And that the slop or the fucking degenerates of the internet, I don't want my channel to be like that, and I don't want to be in a state where I'm exhausted and I'm not really able to be entertaining, but I want to hang out with somebody, or I want to hang out with like King or Jeremy or something. So I go up on a panel and I'm just kind of like mopey because I'm tired and I don't I want to talk about something, but I can't because I have to keep this cloak on. I'm not going to do that stuff. Or I'm not going to use this as like a primary method of hanging out with people that I consider friends. So I think I'm just going to start setting up things to do offline with friends, like once or twice a week with people. And I think that's what I want to do. So that's like the good social time, the thing that I actually enjoy doing. And I think that's a healthier way of doing it. So it's not leaving me predisposed to being mopey and just kind of frustrated that I can't even talk about the things I want to talk about. I just sheared a sheep and she kicked my ass. Damn, watch out. Hell, how long? I zoned out. I think I just I think I just like spurred there for a bit. I got super focused. So I don't even know how long that was like 7 minutes ago. I'm sorry. I wasn't ignoring you. I was just zoned out. Um, that's what my movie nights are. Earlier. It's nice. Well, this is the thing. Like, well, my thing with it is, like I don't feel comfortable around people I don't know. And a lot of the times, your movie nights are when I'm at work too. But I'm thinking about just figuring something out to do that's not online because I don't like that all of my stuff, like all the my interactions with people, are in like on a stage. I don't like that. I just don't like it, and I'm realizing that I'm becoming angry and frustrated over it for no particular reason other than I'm forcing myself to do it. I'm gonna stop forcing myself. Like all this shit's like all this shit, like a lot of the drama that happens online and stuff is funny, but it's only funny if like you don't become a part of it. And how do you not become a part of it? You just don't talk about it openly on the internet. Like you don't do it on a stage. So I can only enjoy this type of stuff that happens on here that's hilarious as long as it's not on a stage. Otherwise, I take it too seriously. And I'm not a very political like minded person. I'm not like somebody who really thinks about what they're saying. I just kind of bluntly want to say what I want to say, and if I have to control myself, it uh, frustrates me. So I don't know if that any of that really makes any sense because I did kind of just like go on one long super monologue there, but maybe that was the shorter version of what took me about 45 minutes to kind of outline. I don't know. I just have like a lot of people in real life who just kind of lie to me, say that they're interested in being like a friend or whatever, but they're not, and that frustrates me. So then I come online to do stuff and to hang out with the friends that I have with online, but then it all seems like it has to be done on a public stage, and that frustrates me. So it's like I'm kind of stuck between two things that frustrate me, and there's no like like way around it. I just don't like it. Like I just like being kind of boring, just like hanging out. Like this is something I used to do when I was a kid. Yeah, the times where I felt like I had like the closest friends that I did when I was younger with people that I met on the internet playing like Left 4 Dead with. And what we would do is we would just get home from whatever we were doing at the day in the evening, and we would sit in a like a party chat or whatever, and we would be sitting there for like hours, not even necessarily talking to each other, but just like talk, like we'd just randomly have different kind of conversations about that stuff. And it's like I can understand that that shit gets boring for people, but it's just kind of like what I like, and I think it's not fair to expect that from people. But it's just like what I like to do. Like we been playing 7 days a day. Yeah, I kind of like that. Like, that was fun, and it was I don't know. I think I need to do more of that. So I think I will. I think from now on, like a lot of the streams I'm going to do, 2 or 3 hours, I'm going to treat it like a job. I'm going to try to make money from it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep doing that. I've gotten into the pattern of streaming every day pretty much. And it is like making my channel grow like pretty good. Like it's pretty steady. Like I'm getting like 50 view hours a night. And as I'm at work after the live streams are over, I'm getting like 20 hours view time as I'm at work. I'm gonna have the watch hours pretty soon. It's not gonna be that much longer. Anyway, I guess Cat got busy, but maybe that I don't know if that makes any sense. But I hope that I was able to reduce it down so you don't have to listen to me bouncing back and forth for like 45 minutes. But yeah. And like when I get to this point where I am this frustrated, I can't sleep. I've been sleeping like 3 or 4 hours every day. And today I was gonna actually try to sleep, but I couldn't because I was frustrated. I was angry at just angry. And that's like not on anybody. That's on me because I haven't put out um like maybe I haven't I just haven't been doing what I needed to do. Pirates was dinosaurs was not to like about that. Plus a volcano, so you could sacrifice marshals on. The thing about Ark is it like crashes all the time, and I get really bored on there. To be honest, I get really bored on Ark. I don't know. There's that I guess there's that one game that I bought forever ago. Maybe I'll just start um using that as the game to play just to hang out with or something. Yeah, Icarus, that's it. All right, well, that'll probably be something I do. Probably hang out on there. But I don't know. Maybe that makes sense. I think I've just I think since I've started um streaming, I've just been stressing myself out, just feeling like I'm putting myself on a stage too much. It is beginning to get frustrating because I continue to engage with doing other stuff and feeling like I have to be entertaining and not really like be a, I guess myself. I guess that's kind of gay, but whatever. I'm not really be able to be my full self. Starting out, Icarus was rough. Storms give you, well, yeah, that's what that game is. It's about fighting the weather, and then it's about fighting bears. I never feel like I need to be entertaining, which is convenient. Yeah, you're literally the most entertaining person. Like, I think that there's like 5 or 6 people that I could say are like legitimately naturally entertaining and very charismatic that I've met on the internet. You're one of them. I would say Doomerang is a very charismatic person and very entertaining. Like even the some of the stuff that he does that I've seen where he's on streams and stuff, he's a very entertaining person. Um, Emmett's a very entertaining person. Um, JS is a very charismatic and entertaining person. Um, Kieran is a very talented and charismatic type of person. Um, there's a lot of people that I think are just naturally very charismatic. Still on from last night? No, I couldn't sleep, so I decided to sit here and talk while I'm not sleeping so I could farm a few hours off of my frustration. Him is fun to trigger. Yeah, he is. And like this is and the thing about me though is like I'm like the way to trigger me is like actually just be somebody that's whining. Like that's how to trigger me. And otherwise I just kind of like roll with stuff. I can get uncomfortable with degenerate topics, but like it's ultimately just funny. I don't think that the human body is inherently a degenerate thing. Like I think that actions and the intentions are what make it degenerate. But I think like the human body is just like a funny thing. So I could joke about things that are that would be considered degenerate and like degenerate actions, but it's just like a funny thing. I don't take it that seriously. like a lot of, and I think this is how I think that's why AVG was surprised when I actually went like full, like I didn't give a fuck about me sounding degenerate mode, because like a lot of the trolling that I do is like, oh, this is degenerate, I need to pour holy water in my eyes and stuff, when it's just me being like sarcastic. Yeah, like obviously I think degeneracy is bad. I think that the Coomers are like should be banned off the internet, but they are kind of funny. Not funny in that they degenerate themselves and the people that they do this stuff with, but they are funny. But they say funny things if I don't take it in context that they're actually doing it. And even like things arguing like the debate that me and Emmett had. Um, when did you surprise AVG with degenerate stuff? The snail trail. And that whole stream that we were doing that debate about the 34, 35 song, she was like, this isn't this isn't Elder. It is also because like in the background, um like when it comes to stuff about the church, like I'm a very serious person. And like something that I've been realizing that I'm doing that I'm gonna try to stop. It's like I had that hangout thumbnail, right? And I don't think it's good for me to use that thumbnail because it has icons in it. I like the picture, I really do, but it's a very pretty picture that I enjoy and I like, but it's not something that I should use. And it's also like I need to start engaging more in philosophy. I shouldn't be engaging in the theology at all. I understand it better than most people, even people who are baptized, but that doesn't mean it's my place to be talking about that stuff. I need to stop. I think it's okay if it's like being brought to me. Say somebody comes to my channel and they want to talk shit about the church and they just want to say a whole bunch of that. I think it would be okay for me to address what they're saying and then ban them. I think it's okay. Oh God, never say that again. What, snail trail? I didn't know that that was a term. AVG taught me a new term. It's a pretty funny word. It's a pretty funny thing to say. And I guess that's but anyways, like why is it so hot I'm putting up fence and my sheep are harassing me? Is that you trying to trigger me? Well, you can't trigger me that way because I'm just gonna feel bad. If you and Emmett try to do that to me, I'm just gonna feel like, oh man, I wish I could like get you a cup of water or something. Hey, sweater. But and the reason why that is because I know you and Emmett are not like whiny people. So when it's something that has built up on you that you really feel like you need to like just get out, like I take that as like you and him would need support. That's how I take it. And I think like a lot of the way that because I feel like I'm on a stage that I've kind of like lost track of that. Like even Sweater, I would say if Sweater even got to that point, he would be somebody that I'd want to support rather than like joke about. But since I've been streaming so much and I've been around in the public so much, I just kind of get in this jokey mood and I forget that that's how I actually uh, feel. And I, because I've like put on this persona where I'm just joking around. So it seems, I just could like, I just forget. I don't think that's a good thing. I think I had to correct myself out of that. I did whine about my leather seats annihilating my thigh in the heat. Well, that was just funny. That was kind of funny. You didn't do it in a way that was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go. Like you didn't like. I don't know. It was just like a funny thing that was happening. It was like, damn, that's crazy. You know. I think stuff like that's okay to joke about, but I don't. I think there's a case of like some things are just you need to be supportive of the person. Like even King, I would say that about King and Jeremy as well. Jeremy, I've never heard ever once complain about anything. He's just somebody that's just like, yeah, this is the way it is, and that's just it. I'll be like, damn, that sucks, and the Jeremy will be like, yeah, it is, yeah, it does suck. It's just like that's it. So it's I don't know, something that I found that I've gotten too too performative. I don't like being performative all the time. I think it's fun to do on stream to try to be entertaining. But I'm burnt out a little bit. I think I need to just go do something where I'm just hanging out and joking about stuff that I can't really talk about on stream openly because people just use that shit as like content for their channel. The only person that I'm gonna openly criticize is Marte. Marte is a dumbass, and he's gone too far. He's just an idiot. I mean, if like somebody gets to that point where they're just obnoxious and retarded, and they don't take any kind of criticism anymore, at that point, I just don't think that there's somebody that's deserving of any type of uh good, like not necessarily goodwill, but like respect of what they're doing. Because there's been a lot of goodwill given to Marte. He's made a lot of really stupid arguments, a lot of really silly things. He's done a lot of really silly things. He's and he continues to draw himself into the drama shit. He does it to himself. At this point, he's not somebody that I can take seriously at all. And I will be 100% completely open with that. What has he done now? You heard of the blonde pill? And if not, then I'm not going to curse you with that knowledge. Okay, well, that was the step over the line, besides like the weird bait prompts that he would do to like racially incite people to rage out. Like a lot of Marte's arguments are just like a rage bait. They're just incitements to make people look silly. Yeah, this blind pill was the thing that sent me over the line, where I can't take him seriously. Like I generally have a lot of goodwill to people that are Orthodox, and Marte's used up all of that. Or not goodwill, but expecting that um yeah, shock topic, that's it. That's more of an accurate term. But that's like I can't take him seriously. He's not somebody that's serious. And he's also been like caught like using AI and stuff. Like how do we know that he's not continuing to do it, but he's just, much more careful with not exposing that. And like even with like this new movie that came out that me, Emmett, Cat, who else was there? I think Bree was there. There was a bunch of people from Emmett's channel that watched that movie with us that I don't remember. Scott, like that movie was terrible. And like people are protecting that movie, and it reminds me of like really terrible Netflix movies that progressives would defend because it spreads a message that they agree with. And that's what this movie reminds me of. It's a terrible movie. It doesn't give a good message either. It's just Muslim bad. That's the message that everyone's like, yeah, based. Yeah, Muslims are bad. Cool. We get that. But this movie's still terrible. And it still has a lot of things like um, killing like law enforcement people too, which is bad. Citizen Vigilante, yeah, that movie. It's a dumb movie. It's a stupid movie. It's garbage. It's funny to watch to make fun of, but it's a terrible movie. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start I think I'm gonna start like giving myself breaks. I think I did overwhelm myself with all this. I feel like I'm being performative all the time. I don't like it. Um I don't like that I just don't like I'm just frustrated. I'm tired. I don't like being on a stage so much. And it begins to warp and me forget who I am. That was why it was interesting when I was playing Final Fantasy VII, when like Cloud is um, confusing himself with Zack, and he just like lost his entire identity to Zack. I feel like that kind of drifting into just becoming like a performative version of myself, and I don't like it. And it's like a it's so dumb. I don't like it. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm not gonna be performative all the time. I think it was more of the reaction, the backlash that did it for me. Well, yeah, that too. Like if Morte, like after the blind pill stuff, just accepted, yeah, this is terrible. This maybe I was wrong about this. Let me just get rid of this and do something different. Then sure, I would have had more respect. I would have been able to continue my respect for him. But it's like I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. He's not somebody I could take serious. Doesn't mean that I hate him. Doesn't mean that I don't wish the best for him. It just means like, dude, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. You're not doing any benefit. You're actually harming the movement. You're harming the retaking of America. That's what you're doing. You're doing damage to the political movement that you say is so important. And you're too prideful to even understand that that's what's happening. And sure, there could be joke things that you do, but if all you are is a joke, that's all your debate career is about being a joke, about doing shock topics and joke shit, then maybe you should pick more entertaining topics and not take it so fucking seriously. It's a Fed movie, probably, even if there's truth to the idea. If we remain on the current path, eventually American citizens will have to start enforcing laws. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, yeah. I think like a lot of the way to solve a lot of the things that are happening is just using private property to the advantage of people. Start forming like communities and, start not letting people into certain communities. Rely on people that can buy a lot of land and I don't know, like or not even a lot of people, just this is gonna sound gay, but like people coming together to build communities and making those safe themselves, creating or even like taking small towns, people of good moral character all moving to a small town and cleaning it up by becoming part of the police by becoming the judges and stuff like that. That's the way that it slowly begins to change. And everybody has to be of one mind when it comes to that. And it's a very difficult thing to do, to have a group of people that are of one mind. That won't solve things. This place will just get Waco'd. Well, I'm not saying like make like communes. I'm just like saying like it's a slow process. It's not something that's going to be solved overnight. It's something that slowly changes. I don't even know how it would even be applied really, or how it even really work. I had to. I had to get some sleep because at this point I have about 5 hours before I go to sleep, so I'm gonna have to force myself to sleep. Otherwise, I'm gonna fall asleep at work. That's not a good idea. The feds have been trying for a Waco 2.0, in my opinion, and definitely try to bait one. Yeah, I think so too. I think that they're trying to make like a event that can be used for justification to win more elections. And I mean, I think that's just the nature of the system that we built. They're trying to always create incidences which will grant them more power. And I think that's why it's important to have a place that's of one mind. Like, what would be good? Would it be good for a community to have um, to resist? I don't know. I think like the way that you would make greater change is. My phone died, but I got to go back to films. Well, it's all right, yeah, because I'm about to sleep. Thank you for stopping by. But I don't know. Like, I don't actually know. I don't know what would be the best thing to do. I don't think like actively resisting ever, like making final stands and shit. I don't think that's ever gonna work out in the benefit for anything. But I also think that just like throwing yourself at their feet, I don't think that that'll work either. I don't know how it exactly works. I think there's value in understanding the lives of the saints in the early Roman Empire. Maybe there's some examples there that could work, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go to sleep. I really need to go to sleep. I think the result of Waco would be to limit property rights. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like limit the only thing that people really have to be able to take control of certain places, so that they could live like what would be essentially what the original idea of the American uh, states' right things would be. They would try to do something to get rid of private property, so because that's like the only real method that people, they're not the part of the mob, part of the 51%, would be able to do to be able to create a life that's separated from the degenerate, immoral bullshit that happens throughout 90% of places. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was kind of meaning. I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah, have a good one.